right, guys, and welcome back to another day of CKLA Listening and Learning. We are still doing our domain of Greek myths, and today we are going to be doing the story Theseus and Minotaur. And so in our story Theseus and Minotaur, there is Prince Theseus, who is our main character. And so the story is going to begin with Theseus sailing to Athens. Remember Athens, one of the Greek city-states? He's going to be sailing to Athens to see his father, King Aegeus. And so, guys, we're going to see in our story Theseus' father, King Aegeus, as shown right here. And so we're going to see what happens. All right? And also, there is another character in the story, Princess Ariadne and Deucalus both play important roles in this story. And we're going to see what important role they actually play. All right? So our purpose for listening is we're going to find out what creature is the hero. All right, guys, put your listening ears on. Get ready. Prince Theseus was the son of the ruler of Athens, King Aegeus. Theseus had been raised by his mother in a town far away from Athens and did not know his father in his youth. When he was old enough, in order to meet his father, Theseus journeyed to Athens, had many adventures, and proved himself a fierce warrior. When he finally reached Athens, he was shocked to hear what his father, King Aegeus, was telling him. Next week, King Minos and his ship returns to Athens after another 9 years, King Aegeus said. This will be the most terrible thing for our people when they see those black sails. Black sails? Who is this King Minos, and what happens when his ship comes to Athens? Asked Prince Theseus. His father answered, King Minos, who rules the greatest island of Crete, has the mightiest navy and army on earth. Several years ago, his son was visiting here in Athens. There was a terrible accident, and the young man never returned to Crete. I sent word to Crete explaining what had happened and how sorry we were, but King Minos would not listen. He and his warriors attacked and conquered Athens. Then Minos announced, You Athenians must show your sorrow. My son was 18 when he went to Athens. Every 9 years, I shall send to you a ship with black sails. This ship will take 7 of your Athenian men and 7 Athenian women, each my son's age, to Crete. There I shall send those Athenians into the labyrinth. What is the labyrinth, father? Theseus asks. It is an enormous maze of twisting tunnels and rooms cut into the hillside near Minos' palace. Minos commissioned the master inventor Daedalus to design it. Once inside, a person becomes hopelessly lost. Worse yet, living in that maze is the Minotaur, a monster that is half bull, half man. The Minotaur knows every inch of the maze and hunts down whomever enters there. Many times, King Minos has sent black-sailed ships to carry away 7 of our young men and women, and none of them ever get out of the labyrinth. And now, next week, the black-sailed ship shall return. Theseus said, Father, you know my skills as a warrior. I am 18 years old. I will take the place of one of these youth and stop the Minotaur before it can strike again. No, my son, I will not let you risk your life. King Aegeus replied, Father, how can I let this continue when I know I can stop it? I am the person with the best chance against the beast. Finally, Theseus convinced his father and told him that if he was successful, he and the other Athenians would return on King Minos' ship with white sails. A week later, the prince and other young Athenians boarded King Minos' ship. When they reached the island of Crete, guards led them to King Minos' throne room in the palace. There, Minos sneered, It is fitting that the son of the king of Athens should not return to his home as my son did not return to his. Theseus answered, it is more fitting that the son of the king of Athens should end this horrible business once and for all. So guys, do you think Theseus will be successful? He wants to go in to this maze. Will he find his way out? Let's see. Standing at King Minos' side through all of this was his daughter, Princess Ariadne. The princess was amazed to see that Theseus was not afraid. She thought, what an extraordinary man, I must save him. But how? Even I would not be safe from my father's fury if he find out. Princess Ariadne needed help, so she went to see the most brilliant man she knew, the man who also happened to be the creator of the labyrinth, Daedalus. The clever Daedalus told her it is impossible to sneak a weapon into the maze. The guards would find it and remove it, and eventually they would trace it back to you. However, if the reports of Theseus' bravery are true, he may still have a chance fighting the Minotaur. Then at least we can help him find his way back out of the labyrinth. Here is what you must do. That night, Princess Ariadne went to Theseus' room in her father's palace. She told the young hero, wind this ball of string around yourself beneath your clothes so the guards will not see it. After you enter the labyrinth, tie one end of the thread to the handle of the gate and unwind the rest as you go through the maze. If you defeat the Minotaur, rewind the thread and it will lead you back by the same route to the gate. And if you succeed, you must take me with you to Athens. For if my father finds that I have helped you, of course we will take you, Theseus has said. Thank you, princess. So, what do you think is going to happen next? Let's find out and see if your predictions are correct. The next day, after the guards closed the gates to the labyrinth beneath the Athenians, Theseus told the others, wait here. I go to seek the Minotaur. If I fail, you are no worse off. If I succeed, we will be able to return safely to Athens. Tying the thread to the door handle, unraveling it with each step, Theseus set off into the labyrinth. Within 5 minutes, he was hopelessly lost. Still, he went on, though he knew that the half-man, half-bull might be waiting around the next bend for him or sneaking up from behind, ready to eat him. Finally, Theseus found himself at the entrance of the gate, central room of the labyrinth. Resting on the stone floor at the far end was the Minotaur. It had the huge muscle body of a man, but instead of a man's head, there was the head of a bull with long, sharp horns. Theseus broke off the golden thread and stepped forward. The Minotaur rose to its feet to face him. Then the Minotaur charged. Theseus waited as the huge beast rushed towards him. At the last moment, the young prince stepped to one side and vaulted over the monster's back. Confused at not having caught him in his horns, the Minotaur turned back and charged again. Again, Theseus avoided its horns, leaping to the other side this time. Over and over, Theseus escaped the deadly horns. Each time, Theseus was moving closer to the wall of the room. Finally, as Theseus leaped aside once more, the Minotaur, unable to stop, ran with an explosive shock into the wall. Staggering, it fell to its knees. Theseus leaped upon its back, seized the great horns. He wrestled the Minotaur to the ground and eventually defeated him. Hours later, the other Athenians saw the prince emerging wearily and triumphantly from the stone tunnel, untying the thread that had led him back. He said quietly, "Let's go home," opening the gate, which was never locked, for no one had ever returned. The Athenians stole out. The next day had passed, and the city was now shadowed with night. They moved down to the harbor and found Princess Ariadne waiting for them in the shadows by the docks. Then they all set sail for Athens, bearing the glad news. Thanks to Theseus, the danger of the Minotaur was finally over. Theseus, however, had forgotten to change the sails from black to white. When his father, King Aegeus, saw the black sails from his perch on a cliff, he fainted and fell forward into the sea. To this day, the sea King Aegeus fell into is called the Aegean Sea. Now let's go to our comprehension questions. Our first question is, who is the supernatural creature in today's read aloud? Yes, the Minotaur. And do you remember what does the Minotaur look like and where does he live? He was half man, good, and half bull, good. And where did he live? He didn't live on Mount Olympus. He lived in the labyrinth. Where? In the labyrinth, the maze. All right? Now for our next question. Why does King Minos send 14 Athenian youth into the labyrinth every 9 years? Well, he sends the youth into the labyrinth because he is sad and upset over the loss of his son, and he blames the Athenians. Next, who comes up with the plan to help Theseus escape the labyrinth? Princess Ariadne. And why does she choose to help even though she knows her father would be greatly furious? Well, she thinks Theseus is an extraordinary man. All right, let's stand up, get our wiggles out, and we're going to do like before, jumping jacks. But before we do our jumping jacks, we're going to do jumping jacks to 1,000. Yes, so we're going to do 1,000 jumping jacks, but we're going to be skip counting by 100. Good job, 100. So everybody stand up, wiggle, get your blood flowing, wiggle, wiggle. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900. What's the last one? 1,000. Good. Good job. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Get it out, get it out. Now, let's go to our words. Our word for today is unraveling. What word? Unraveling. In our story today, we heard the sentence, tying the thread to the door handle, unraveling it with each step, Theseus stepped off into the labyrinth. And so what does unraveling mean? Unraveling is separating or unwinding. So when you're untying your shoe, that is unraveling. All right? So an example is the threads in the old worn blanket began unraveling after it was washed many, many times. So guys, what is our word today? Unraveling. Good job. So now it's your turn. Have you ever had something that was unraveling? Once my shoelaces started unraveling when I was playing outside. All right. So let's go to our antonyms, our activity. Antonyms are words that are opposite of another word. What are some antonyms or opposites of the word unraveling? Antonyms for unraveling could include tying, repairing, or fixing. Those are antonyms, words that are opposite of another word. And what is our word today? Unraveling. Say it with me. Unraveling. Good job, guys. Until next time, you have a great day. Bye.